Hello, traders and investors. My name is Fred FX, and this video is brought to you by the FST trading community. Um, in this video, we'll be covering, as usual, the most important and the most basic aspect of the market, which is the fundamentals, to help you make more informed trading decisions, right? And in this video, we'll be looking at, I showed you previously in previous video, the GBP being one of the weakest, being the weakest actually, according to the month to date relative performance. And we'll be covering why this is happening, right? And let's delve quickly into the data we've been having for the USD dating from November till date, right? Now, we had S&P manufacturing PMI on the 1st of November 2024. We had it lower than the 50 level, right? This 50, anything lower, it indicates economic contractions, right? And the it shows that the manufacturing sector of that economy, it's not really, having it's contracting, right? So this is what it indicates, and it's a key data for knowing how the manufacturing sector of an economy is performing, and this is not good for the economy, right? I mean the contraction, right. So we see retail sales worse than expected. The service PMI was 52, worse than previous, right? This is one thing most analysts tend to ignore, right? We had a better than expected data, right? Better than consensus, but it was actually worse than previous. So we had 0.4% declines, right? Compared to the previous data from the previous months. So it's still not good for the GBP. You could see how the weakness is started, right? Now, we move into the monetary policy report. It's something you could watch on YouTube, Bloomberg Terminal, something like that. And we had our interest rate decision. There was interest rates cut 25 basis points, right? So which weighed on the economy, weighed lower on the economy. They were trying to combat with the flagging labor market, right? If you had checked the labor market data, you'd from the previous month, you'd see the reason why we had this rate cut. We had a better employment change. We had a better employment change, but the this is the thing. It's You can say it's better for the short term, but for the long term, look at the previous. It was um 373k, and the market was betting on minus 50k, and we had 220k better. But comparing to the previous data, this data is not positive for us, right? So unemployment rate was previously at 4%, went up 0.3%, and it's not good for the economy. So you could see that these data are saying they're giving bad signals for the GBP, and that's why we've been experiencing all those weaknesses. Trade balance, we had more deficits. Goods trade balance, we had more deficits. Trade balance, we had deficits upon deficits, right? We had GDP growth month over month decrease by 0.1%. We had year over year at just 0.1% as expected, right? We had 0.3% growth from previous. So overall, these data, it's positive slightly for the GBP, right? Then we had GDP growth rate at the quarter level, quarter three, and it's we still had an expectation of 0.2%, and we had an actual release of 0.1%, that is lower than previous 0.5%. So this is a lot of declines. That is zero point 0.4 declines and zero point 0.4 decline from previous data, and it's not positive for us for the long term, right? And we have inflation rate going up, right? So basically it's just like the economy is battling inflation issues, the labor market is flagging, and also, when it comes to money, we are seeing deficit and more deficit in the trade balance and all of that. So the currency has not been performing well. You could see a lot of negative data, right? And okay, this is because of the holiday period, right? And we didn't get all these key data, right? But you could see that pretty much all the data we've been getting were negative data, right? And that's why we saw all those declines in the performance of the GBP, right? Now, let's still look further. We had retail sales in December all negative, you know, except for the sales X for month over month. Yeah. So we had S&P, these data still being processed, right? And we're having upcoming inflation rates and trade balance. Um, if this should continue, would still be having, you could see that the economy is quite having a downtime, right? And we might still have more and more negative data, right? That would still weigh more on the GBP USD. So technically, you might want to find areas of support, resistant levels where you would want to sell from, or to areas of support, right? You would want to sell to support levels, right? So that's it for the GBP. Would be covering more videos about how the GBP USD or any pair you want to trade the GBP with would be performing, and levels of support and levels of key levels where you would want to be looking for entries and exits, right? So that's it for the GBP USD. Have a nice day. Enjoy your trading week. My name is Fred, and this video is brought to you by the FST Trading Community. Thank you.